Hello, my name is Taro. Here's a summary of the case. The best practices and mitigations are all basic measures that should be implemented. However, if you are in a position to implement them, you may be tempted to make excuses for not being able to do so, citing a lack of resources or other reasons. It is often helpful to read the book from the perspective of whether your organization has established policies and procedures, whether you have assessed risks in accordance with those policies and procedures, and whether you can tolerate risks if you cannot implement measures based on your risk assessment, i.e., whether you can obtain the approval of the person in charge of your organization. Best practices. Apply patches as soon as possible. Disable unnecessary ports and protocols. Replace end-of-life infrastructure. Implement a centralized patch management system. Mitigation. Update systems and products and apply patches as soon as possible after a patch is released. D3 Consider utilizing a centralized patch management system to automate and expedite this process. Immediately remove or quarantine suspected compromised devices from the network. D3ITF D3OTF. Segment the network to limit or block lateral movement. D3NI. Disable unused or unnecessary network services, ports, protocols, and devices. D3ACH D3ITF D3OTF. Enforce multi-factor authentication, MFA, for all users without exception. D3 MFA. Enforce MFA on all VPN connections. D3 MFA. If MFA is not available, enforce password complexity requirements. D3 SPP. Implement strict password requirements, enforce password complexity, change passwords at a defined frequency, and conduct regular account reviews to ensure compliance. D3 SPP. Implement regular data backup procedures and maintain up-to-date incident response and recovery procedures. D3 SPP. Disable external management functions and configure out-of-band management networks. D3NI. Isolate internet-facing services in a network demilitarized zone, DMZ, to reduce internal network exposure. D3NI. Enable robust logging of internet-facing services and monitor logs for signs of compromise. D3NTA D3PM. Ensure a dedicated management system. D3PH and accounts for system administrators. Protect these accounts with strict network policies. D3UAP. Enable robust logging and review of network infrastructure access, configuration changes, and critical infrastructure services that perform authentication, authorization, and accounting functions. D3PM. When responding to an incident identified on a portion of the network, the response team should scrutinize access to the network infrastructure, assess potential lateral movement to the network infrastructure, and implement corrective actions commensurate with the findings. Now, the top networking devices being exploited by Chinese state-sponsored actors are all the ones we've heard so much about, including Cisco, Citrix, D-Link, Fortinet, Netgear, and Knapp. It is good to see that these vulnerabilities have been identified and remedies have been proposed. They are often overlooked by cyber defenders who struggle to keep pace and maintain regular software patches for internet-facing services and endpoint devices. Yes, yes, yes. It makes me cry. That's why we need to establish the mechanisms I mentioned at the beginning of this article and work on it as an organization. Good luck. You are not alone. Thank you for watching.